Hi, Honest Discussioner here. Bit of quick business first. I just want to give a quick thank you and shout out to Dark the Atheist. Link around here. Recommended me for the whole VoteBot thing, and he makes some great videos. He's got a Penn and Teller type of thing going on with another guy. It's pretty funny. I'd check him out. If you like him, subscribe. If not, whatever. But I think you'll like him because he's a pretty good guy. Makes good videos. Now, Jesus Freak put out a video recently about whether or not Jesus owns Superman or vice versa. I have to say that's a pretty good comparison. I mean, they're both supernatural beings and both fictional. Sorry, I had to do that. But I think they make a very good comparison. Now, for this comparison, let's take four people, and they're hanging off a ledge, and if they let go, they're going to die. Two of them are decent, upstanding, moral people, in our sense of the word. That, they try to help people, they try to do the right thing. Two of them are very bad, evil, gangsters, murderers, they kill, steal, all that stuff. Maybe even they rape. I don't know. They're really bad people from a societal standpoint. So, you have Jesus and you have Superman. Let's send in Jesus first, and let's see what he would do. Well, the first thing we do, of course, is ask, well, do you believe in me? Now, they're going to be a little bit distressed. And they're like, well, what? It's like, well, do you believe that 2,000 years ago I died on a cross and was resurrected, 3 days later, and that in doing that I saved you from all of your sins, past, future, and present? So the two good people, one of them says, well, yes, yes, I do. And the other one says, well, actually, I've never heard of you before. Well, the one they never heard of before, whoop, oh, they fall and they die. They weren't worthy of God since they were never told about him. The one guy saved at least. The two bad guys, and the one bad guy says, oh yes, I believe in you, I do all the stuff that is against you and everything you preached against, but I do believe you did that. Okay, you're saved. And the other guy, of course, says, no, I hate you and everything you stand for, and he dies. Let's send in Superman there. Okay, so let's play that scenario out. Zoop, they're all saved. What? They're all saved? No questions about whether or not they believed a supernatural thing 2,000 years ago actually happened? No, do you believe that Krypton was once a planet that I was born from and that I've been sent here to save all of mankind? Do you believe that? Doesn't ask that question ever. I don't remember if he's ever asked anyone that question. Actually kind of tries to ignore that whole heritage thing. He just saves you. Whether you are a two-bit gangster, a genocidal maniac, or a decent, upstanding person. He doesn't even think. If you're in trouble, he will save you. He will be there for you. You can argue whether or not that's necessarily a good strategy, but as far as from being a good person, not thinking about what that person can do for you or whether or not they like you, saving them anyway, I'd have to say that Superman does pwn Jesus. Pwns him hard. He will save anyone. And I think that's something that Jesus would never do. As far as most Christians are concerned, I think even the moderates would disagree on that he will save anyone, no matter what. How many times could he have let Lex Luthor die? How many times could he have just punched him in the face and ended it? No, he saved him, and whenever he could. Wanted to kill him, but he had the strength of will enough to not. And actually, Lex Luthor saved the day later on in some comics. So, Superman pwns Jesus, in my opinion. Debate in the text comments at will, please. Next thing I want to briefly touch on is another thing from the Mother's Day sermon. If you're familiar with the story of Ruth, that was actually kind of where I stopped reading the Old Testament because my head was ready to explode, and I prayed to God every night for understanding, and I got no response at any point. And the more I read, the more confused I was, the less I understood it. Now, I have to say that I don't agree with the way the pastor's wife, who did the sermon, interpreted the story. And it's the first chapter in the book, so I don't think I could have taken this out of context. read the first chapter of Ruth if you can, and tell me if I'm wrong about this. But the story is about a couple, and the wife's name was Naomi. They didn't have any food where they lived in Judea, I'm assuming, so they went to the land of the Moabites. They had two sons married two women, but the husband died, and then the two sons died without having any progeny of their own. And after all that happened, Naomi found out that there was food back where she used to live, so, the Lord had provided food, it says. So she finally decided, well, we're going to move back there. And the daughters-in-law wanted to come with her. But she said, listen, I'm old. Even if I have kids right now, which I don't think I'm even capable of, are you really going to wait around to marry them? Just go back to your people, go back to your God, your gods, as though she actually believed they existed, and leave me be. And the one went away, but Ruth says, no. Wherever you go, I will go. Wherever you stay, I will stay. Let your God be my God. Okay? No, that story's really fine. There's nothing really to debate there in there. There's nothing that screams, oh, this is wrong. But the interpretation of the pastor's wife, I have to say, seems completely off. And please tell me if I'm wrong about this, but she said the reason why that Ruth went with Naomi is because she saw the glory of Yahweh, of the one true and living God. And she wanted to be with that God, so she went with Naomi. To me, correct me if I'm wrong, she just really liked Naomi and wanted to be with her. Let your God be my God, not, I love your God, let me be with him. Or not, I love your God and you're hanging around him, so I'm going to follow you around. No, she really loved, it was Naomi. She wanted to be with her mother-in-law. She wanted to go with her. If she was worshiping a two-pronged tongue snake that pooped out jelly beans on a daily basis, wouldn't have mattered at that point in the story, it seems. Correct me if I'm wrong, but she just really loved Naomi. And I think it's disingenuous to go to tell a whole congregation something that's off. Maybe she just misunderstood it. I would think that the pastor himself would have reviewed the sermon a little bit, or she would have gone over it with him. Maybe not. I just find that a bit disingenuous, or at least completely inaccurate. And if it's inaccurate, we've got preachers saying a lot of bad things then, I would have to say, or these preachers' wives. And I think that shows the human fallibility in trying to understand the supernatural. That's my 2 cents. Have a nice day. Honest Discussioner, out.